Well, Stephen, I'm looking at two specks of metal. That is the metal, right? I'm looking at two specks.
Yeah, it's metal.
All right. So, tell us about these specks.
So, in the rear diff, there is a plug, and it's magnetic. The top one had metal dust on it, which is normal. And so I had to pull the bottom one. I pulled the bottom one. It was the same thing. It had metal dust on it, except for these two little pieces of metal. And that's not enough to say that there's something catastrophic going wrong on the inside of that diff. But it is to say that it's had some abuse. So that's typically when it doesn't go in correctly or whatever. Something caused that. But that's not enough to sit there and say, I got to take the diff out. That's not enough metal for me to take that diff out.
Okay, that's kind of reassuring. So, if that's all you found, those little specks right there, if that's all you found, then you're saying that...
Well, I still got to get those brake chambers off and spin it around, and I got to change the bearings and all that. I still have some more inspections to go, but that's what I found as far as metal in the pumpkin.
Okay.
In differential housing.
Now you went out and got some hoses this afternoon. I was unable to join you for that.
Yeah, like I said, the air compressor is completely shot, blowing oil. Well, when I was taking it off, the hoses were petrified and would not bend, have no flexibility to them, and so I had new hoses built. Plus one fuel line that goes up to the fuel rail was rubbing against something, and so I had to replace that one too. So if you have anything wrong with any hoses, you better get it fixed while you can. You don't want to be doing it on the side of the road.
No. So at least you're here at the house. And you found a Mennonite man. Isn't that right? You found a Mennonite man?
Yeah, there's a Mennonite family who has a hardware store on the other side of town. It's 15 miles from here. And everybody told me that you should go there to get your hydraulic hoses because it's a lot cheaper. So I went over there. That was the first time I went over there. It's like a hardware store, but take it back about 30 years. And anyway, yep. Anyway, so I went over there.
And got some hoses made.
Some of the Mennonite stores are pretty nice. It's like that where I got my Milwaukee tools. I got that from a Mennonite store over in Fairview.
Oh, I didn't realize that was a Mennonite place where you got your Milwaukee power tools.
Yeah, it was. And nobody else had it. Had that 1-inch drive. And I called places if I ordered it, and they said it wouldn't be here until the first year. So anyway, I found out about them and drove out there, and they have massive supply of Milwaukee tools.
But now this must have been a Mennonites that believe in electricity then.
Yeah, they have. I don't know what they believe. I didn't walk in there and say, "What do you guys believe in?"
No, but the Mennonite...
But anyway, they have a store that is like a Tractor Supply, like a Lowe's, and like that. It's out there where the Fairview is where the
Jefferson Davis Monument
right.
is.
That's where, yeah. So
okay, but
it's
now
a really nice store.
But now that group of Mennonites, they believe in electricity and
I have
running
no
water.
idea what they believe in. I didn't go in there and ask them what they believe in. I just asked them if they had the tools, how much they were, if they had any deals, and they made me a deal, saved me a couple $100, and so I got my tools and I left.
You mean they gave you a discount? I didn't know that.
I saved $200
By buying them both?
by buying them both plus the batteries.
Okay, by buying them both plus the batteries, they knocked off $200.
Yep.
Well, that's nice. I didn't know that. That's nice. But the Mennonites that live here on our street, in our community, they do not believe in electricity or running water. So every group is different, I guess.
Well, so anyway, I pulled that plug, and that's what I found. It's not enough to say that there's catastrophic failure on that diff, but I still have to pull the shafts out and put new bearings in, and I will continue to inspect it. At that point, I won't have the brakes will be caged, and I can roll everything around freely, and I should. I know that it has a clicking noise in it, but that's more than likely because that the brakes are set on that front and drive diff. And once I let everything go, it probably won't do that no more.
So, is this something that you want to save for any particular reason?
I brought it in here only because Ruthie would go, "Oh, why'd you throw it away? I could have put that on YouTube. YouTube gold." Well, it isn't gold, but it is metal, so.
That's great, Stephen. It's not gold, but it's metal. That's great.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for showing us. So, I'm glad to know that that's not as concerning as it could have been.
Not yet.
Yeah.
The inspection's not over.
All right. Well, I hope it doesn't get any worse then.
I'm not. I'm Big Belly.
And I'm Bumbles.
And together we're
Big Belly Bumbles.
See you later.
Big Belly Bumbles.